Hello guys. Today we will look into the problem of insertion of two arrays. So let's go through the problem once. Uh, Given two integer arrays names 1 and names 2, return an array of their intersection. Each element in the result must appear as many times as it shows in both arrays, and you may return the result in any order. So here they mentioned two arrays. So let's go through the example. So names 1 is one array, names two is one array. So we will have to return the repeated numbers in both arrays. Like here, if you see 2 2 2 2, these both are excuse, these two these two numbers are common in both arrays, right? So now we have to return 2 2 here. So let's see the second example. If you see names 1 is 495, names 2 is 94984, right? So here the repeated numbers are 49. So we'll have to return 49. So they said we have to return an array. So we have to return array type. And they said like so results can be in any order. So if you see here, or even if it is 49 or 94, anything can be acceptable. So how we can do this? It seems very simple, but so when it comes to coding, it's little tricky. So first, what we have to check is, so we have to put all these repeated numbers in one array into the map. So then after, we'll have to take the list to return the result. So what we have to store in the result list. So we have to iterate through the nums2 array. So initially we have already kept our initial array repeated numbers in map, right? So we have to check the nums2 array against the map. For instance, map. So if you see here in if you iterate the nums1 array here, 2 2 and one repeated two times and two repeated two times, right? Which means the key is one and the value is two times, and two repeated two times. So one repeated two times, so two repeated two times. So now what we have to do? So we have to iterate to the second array. We have to check if map is already contains nums2, so which means the 2 is already there in the map. So we have to add that number 2 into result list. At the same time, so if you take the second number, so other 2 is also there in 2. So which means in the first array 2 repeated 2 times and the second array 2 repeated 2 times. So which means our result is 2 2, but 1 is not there in the second array, right? So that's the reason we should not calculate 1. So only the repeated elements in both array we should return it. I hope you understand the logic. So let's code it. First, what we have to do, we have to take one hash map, which is integer type, integer. So after this, what we have to do? So we have to loop through the names one array. Now what we have to do? We have to take the indices of the each number. So let's see. Have to put the number and names dot get dot default of names. If it is 0, we will have to return 0. So here, so we have to put each number and the repeat and how many times it is repeated in the loop. So for instance, first number is 1, right? So here the key is 1, and so 1 is not there in the map, which means it does not repeat it. So in that case, what? So this will be the key, this will be the value. So the loop continues one more time, then 2. 2 is already there in the map, no. So then what? 2 does not repeat. To one side. So it repeat. So the loop continues one more time. Now 2 comes one more time, which means So the number is 2. Num stuff without default nums is already 2. 2 is already there in the map, which means it's already repeated once. Now it becomes 2 in the same way. So 1. So 1 is already there in the map, which means it becomes 2. So 1 repeated twice and 2 repeated twice. So now we stored these both values in the map. Now our map contains these two values. One is as a key, 2 is as a value, or 2 as a key and 2 as a value. So let's get into the second array. Now we have to store the result. Let's take a list to store the result. So this will store all our result into this list. So now what we have to do, we have to iterate through the second array and start 2. So what we have to do now, so here, so we have to check whether our map contains any of these two numbers. So which means if already map contains any of these two numbers, means that is our output, right? So in the num_2, so we have 2. So map is already there, 2. So map is already there, or 2 is already there in the map, right? So here the value is 2. So it has 2 2s. Our num_2 array contains 2 2s, which means we got an output. So how we have to check? We have to check if map already contains key of nums, and what, so what we have to check, this should be greater than 0, right? So here if 2 is equals to 2 is 0, so we should not validate it, because so 2 is not there in the map. So if 2 means 1 means 2 is already present in the map, 2 is 2 means 2 is present in the map twice. So if it is below like less than 0 means 2 is not there in the map, so we have to check that is as well. If map already contains the number, so what we have to do, we have to add that into result, right? And we have to decrease the value in the map. Or decrease the value. Now sorted. Now we got the output. So here we store 2 2. So now what we have to do, we have to return the result, an array. For that what we have to do, so we have to store we have to take the size of the result, and so we have to iterate through the result. So what we have to return, we have to return the result. So now we got the result. Oh, I think we made a mistake here. Means of 1. So we have to get the values from the map, right? The reference is num kept names. Sorry. Yes. So we got the result. So if you see here, pull it down. So if you see the result, the case 11221, nems1 error, nems2 is 22. So our output is 22. In the case 2, 495, 94984. So these two are the repeated values in both arrays. So we printed the output. Yeah, this is it for today, guys. Please go through the problem, and if you have any doubts, please do comment. I will reply to the comments. So I will see you tomorrow with a new problem.